Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. Beautiful message about Aranda. It's about enablement, dear ones. It speaks of what you can do. And you might ask, why is it that channel after channel continues to list these kinds of things as though you didn't know them? And the answer is because you didn't know them. And so I want to then revisit an energy shift just briefly. And it's going to sound like something perhaps we have said before, and you'd be right. Because these are the messages of the age. Things that will be repeated in different words for a long time. They must, because they are different and there are new ears to hear them and new eyes to read them. And it basically stems from an old versus new paradigm of existence. Most of those who would listen to these kinds of channelings, these kinds of spiritual messages, most of you have slogged through a time where the energy was far different. Just a few years ago, dear ones, I tell you that the things that you would call dark or negative, or that which you would call resistance to light, was very powerful. Those of you who would look at history know this, absolutely know this. Where you would see that history is packed with dysfunction and sadness and horror, all caused by that which is a dark energy which seemed to prevail on this planet, and not just a while ago, but for a very long time. We've spoken of an evolvement of your human spirit, an evolvement even of your DNA, which allows some magnificent things. But the biggest thing is enablement. The question would be asked, well, why do we have to keep telling you what you can accomplish? Shouldn't it be then obvious to you? And the answer, it is not obvious. Because of the past that you have walked through, because of the things that you've experienced that did not work, because of the sadness that you've had over and over when you tried things with light and they seemed to be beat back. This was the age, dear ones, of a disconnection. This is the age of a connection. To make things even more difficult, those of you in spiritual systems, we're told that it is not possible for the human soul to contact or talk to, or even be part of a discussion with that which is the creative source. That there is a disconnection. You were also told by the millions, if not billions, that you were born on this planet dysfunctional, perhaps even dirty, and somehow that kept you from connecting. And this has been the story. Enhanced it is by the energy of the past, the feelings of the past, the paradigm of feeling helpless, even if you were spiritual. It was tough. And suddenly we are saying that what the ancients predicted is here. That with the precession of the equinoxes and more, you enter an age of compassion that you earned. We also told you this was not necessarily going to happen this way. In fact, many of your prophecies did not have you living much past the year 2000 or even 2010. So many of the dark prophecies, we'll call them, had humanity terminated. And you didn't go that direction. Instead, you're here. Instead, you're here in a new energy paradigm. And that is what you're not fully aware of or realizing. You'll come to a meeting like this. You'll listen to a channel like this. And you'll say, what pearls of wisdom today do you have, Kryon? And I will say to you, the pearl of wisdom is wake up to the new energy which is here and has been here for years, enabling you to drop the things that you don't need and pick up the things that you do, the tools that are here, just like Adironda said. And the biggest tool is connection. You are connected. You have the ability of direct communication. You always have. But in this energy, it's so obvious. It ought to be self-evident. You can sit and connect to the Creator itself, that which puts you here, soul by soul. And we say it yet again and again. Doesn't it make sense that the love, the amazing love of God, doesn't it make sense that there would be a system of loving contact with you? Every soul on this planet is actually a piece of the Creator. Hard for you to understand. But in a multidimensional way, it's easy. Things are all connected. The oneness of everything. You are one with the Creator. But even more, your soul belongs to the Creator. And in that, you are entitled to sit and communicate, to stand and communicate, to be one with the Creator, to ask for intuition, to pick up the tools, to change your life, not have somebody you have to go through. You are magnificent, born magnificent. It's time to see that, open that door. That door that's been hidden all of this time by others who would tell you, you can't, you won't, you shouldn't. And suddenly you can see the door shining before you and you open it. And that door will yell at you, new energy, magnificence. This is who you are. This is what's been hiding. And now the wind is at your back. That's the message. It always has been the message. And the reason we keep repeating it, because the past is still with you. What you couldn't do, you carry into this meeting. What you were told is or is not possible was carried into this meeting intact. And yet we have to tell you one more time that there is an enablement happening here that is different from anything, anytime, ever on this planet. This is new. And the only way you're going to believe it is to claim it. A moment ago, Adironda said that what stops you is the belief. If you don't believe it, how are you going to claim it? How is it going to be possible? You've got to drop the old paradigm of unworthiness and disbelief. Take a deep breath and say, all the things that I was told are questionable in this energy. Everything I was told is questionable in this energy. And there were those who say, oh, I understand, you're supposed to drop what you were told by others, and now it's time to believe Kryon. I'm going to tell you the truth. What I want you to do is believe in yourself. What I want you to do is try these things. Cognize that you can do them. And with your abilities and tools to move forward. How many of you were told that you couldn't change your biology? You catch a disease, it's over. Did you know that that is completely and totally changed? That consciousness, being energy, can actually imbue itself into the cells of your body and speak to the disease and say, you are inappropriate here. And they'll get the message. Did you know you could increase your lifespan? How many of those in charge of your spirituality and the systems told you that? Was that something completely and reserved for the prophet? And you couldn't? Or is it possible the prophet was showing you what you could do all of this time? That's the door you open. That's enablement. That's your magnificence. That's the message. That's the message we're going to continue even into later today. The wind is at your back in a way that never has been. God knows who you are in a way that's connected to you as never before. You ought to think of these things. I'm not here for you to believe me. I'm here for you to take the information and experiment with it and try it. And what you take away will be your discovery in your words and your energy. And that's the way it must be for things to change on this planet. Not humans believing in still another doctrine, but humans believing in themselves. There's more. And so it is.